Good day, folks. Welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. The rats are scurrying in D.C. It's like nothing you've ever seen. This report will blow your mind. Do me a favor, though. Smash that like button. And if you're new, please do subscribe. I'm going to share a clip from Alina Habba on Fox News where she talks about why everybody is so worried and the panic and just how real it is. And then I'll go into some specifics. I will prove point by point just how bad this panic is.
If we want to save money, people are going to get upset. Why are they getting upset? Because we're taking money out of their pockets. The best thing that Elon Musk is going to do is going to look at people's salaries and say, okay, if you make X amount of money and you're worth $68 million, we're going to look at why that is.
Folks, that has never happened before. I mean, citizen journalists have looked. They've dug up all these connections and where the money was coming from. But never have they been criminally investigated. Never has Congress been looked at and gone, whoa, you're making this much money and now you've got this much money? How does that work exactly? It gets better.
And that's really the bottom line, because we could talk about everything, every executive order, but there is a panic in D.C. at this moment where I now live, and it is very simple. We are cutting them off from their funding. And that means politicians, not just saving taxpayer dollars. And that's where the panic is coming from. It's pretty basic.
People, this is sending shockwaves through D.C. right now. And you're like, oh, really, Neil? Is it really? Yeah, in fact, here, let me just give you a few little stats here to tell you just how big the shockwaves. The most searched terms in Washington, D.C. right now on Google are for treason, Swiss bank, extradition. I mean, these corrupt politicians and NGO officers, I guess I'll call them, and the lobbyists are all wondering, like, what the heck's going on? Because their funding has stopped, but not only has it stopped, it's being looked into. I'm going to show you a few graphs here that'll just blow your mind, but really quickly want to mention right now, $9.98 with promo code Lumberjack, folks. Go to mypillow.com/lumberjack or call 1-800-568-2865. Greatest thing, those roll and go pillows. Go get some. Okay, but check this out. Here's a graph that'll show you Swiss bank, that's in yellow, offshore bank, that's in green, wire money red, IBAN blue. So these are all, they're trying to figure out, how do we get our money out of here? How do we protect our money? Because they're worried that not only are they going to go to jail, but their money's going to be seized. Look at this. DC searches for lawyer. I shared criminal defense attorney the other day, but look at this. Up 400% just for the term lawyer. This is from Google Trends. So this is all based on, I used to do search engine optimization, SEO writing, and this is what we did. We looked at Google Trends, Google Labs, and then we determined how we were going to write websites. Look at this term, move abroad. Look at these lines. I mean, the interest in them over the past 90 days, it all starts after President Trump's inauguration. Death penalty. They're even concerned about possible death sentences. What would you get the death penalty for, folks? There's one word. I'll let you answer in the chat. See if you figure it all out down in the comments below. But look at this. To show you just how bad it is and why they should be scared, Kyle Becker reported this. Did you know Biden tapped the Emergency Food and Shelter Program? That's a FEMA grant program to help homeless veterans. You understand? A grant program to help homeless veterans. But instead, he used it to the tune of $1 billion to harbor illegal aliens in the United States. They literally gave funds for homeless vets to illegal aliens. If that doesn't take you off, the very people who served our country in war risked their life and limb, and they're oh, I'm telling you, I don't know if that isn't treason. I don't know what it's called. Look at this meme here. When you're finding fraud and somebody else stop, that's who's doing the fraud, folks. Back to Alina Habba here.
In our administration, we have a tremendous amount of billionaires who are successful businessmen. And I could name them all, but we know who they are, who have taken a leave, sold their companies, walked away from their lives to sacrifice to help America be great again. There are many, many.
So in other words, these billionaires, they give up their companies. They're like, man, we've got billions. We don't need to make any more. Just now we're going to do public service. It's the way it should be done, right? Instead of becoming a billionaire because you're in government or a millionaire because you're in government, actually putting a pause on those millions or billions and then actually performing for the public. That's why it's called public service.
Now, Elon's become a target for one very simple reason, because he is cutting the funding to these politicians who have put their bureaucratic, personal financial gain and interest above the American people. That is the difference. That may not be felt by some of the other people that are in the administration that have done the same thing that Elon does, that are incredibly successful billionaires. But they are targeting him because he is cutting their lifeline, their financial. Listen, Nancy made how much money? And we're going to go down the line of looking at all these people. There is no reason, as a federal employee, me included, I shouldn't walk out richer from the federal government. That should not be the case.
No,
and I open you up to look, because it's not going to happen. You don't do it.
Do you realize how apocalyptic, how cataclysmic this is for these people? She's literally saying, we're looking now at all these people and how they got all their money. And we're seeing, wasn't that Obama, Biden, didn't they all say sunlight was the best disinfectant? I wonder if they're singing from the same sheet of music now, because now they're looking at Nancy Pelosi. How on a salary of X can she be having a net worth of Y? It's over $250 million, folks, is Nancy Pelosi's net worth. And then you look at these judges that are coming out against Trump's rulings and saying, no, we're going to force you to pay fraudulent bills. And then and then we're finding out the judge is actually married to someone on the board at one of the NGOs, okay, which isn't an NGO, because if it's an NGO, it's a non-governmental organization and it persists without government funding. None of them. They're all shuttering their doors if they lose their government funding, folks. They're just another arm of the government. And yet, so here she is raking in money from one of these NGOs, and then the judge rules, oh, you've got to turn back on the spigot for USAID. But the problem is the alternative media has become too big. X really drove a lot of this by allowing us to talk about these things, because they were all getting shut down on Twitter before. Certainly YouTube had gone into censorship mode. So we're seeing something just on scale. People, they did not see this coming. They saw a lot of things coming. But I don't think the searches for treason, the searches for offshoring your money, you saw those all rise after Trump was inaugurated. I think they thought they could even stop the inauguration. But here we are, folks. And one person you need to support is Mike Lindell. Go get some of those roll and go pillows. This is a crazy deal. That's the pillow and the case for under $10. You got free shipping on the site right now. Go get a bunch of stuff and use that 800 number. That way you can support some of those people who work from home. 1-800-568-2865. Except they actually work from home, unlike the federal employees. Yes, 1-800-568-2865. All right, thanks so much, folks. Go check that out. Go get yourself a pillow. Get a good night's sleep. Buy one for your liberal friends, because they're crying tears. All right, peace out.